This box came from Japan via JPFans, full of retro nonsense I absolutely don't need, but definitely want. JPFans is a company that acts as an intermediary, meaning you can buy difficult to find stuff directly from Japan. So let's take a look right now.
Mark fixes stuff.
I chose these items through JPFans. I waited for them to arrive at their warehouse, checked the inspection photos, and then arranged the combined shipping. It's worth noting that JPFans operates as an independent company providing a service. It really shines for difficult to obtain Japanese items. You can order from multiple sellers, let them collect at the JPFans warehouse, and then ship them all together. Okay, my first impressions are that it's really well packed, with everything surrounded by plenty of bubble wrap. And we love bubble wrap. The first item out of our box is an Epoch Super Cassette Vision. Whilst in the UK we had ColecoVision, Intellivision, Sega, Nintendo and Atari, in Japan this system sits in that really interesting early to mid-80s console space. A time period for gaming that I'm really fascinated by. This packing is exceptional. It's obviously been done by someone who realises that sometimes the box is as important as the system inside it. Even if it's a bit wrecked like this one clearly is, but it's still nice to be able to have it for display. The Super Cassette Vision was an early example of a console with RGB output. That's great because Japanese RF is impossible to tune into on British TVs. These flaps are really old, so let's open them gently. I don't want to cause any further damage to this vintage box. And here it is, our Epoch Super Cassette Vision. Using the word cassette in the UK would mean tape based, but here it's clearly cartridge based. And the alarm bells are already ringing. I've found some suspicious tape residue around the buttons. If the console isn't working, that's probably a good place to start. When you think of its contemporaries in Europe like the Intellivision and the ColecoVision, this controller is streets ahead. For a start, it fits in your hand, which is kind of a prerequisite for a controller, and the number pad is on the console and not on either of the two controllers, and I love that the second one has got a blue label. Wear and tear wise it's a bit grotty, but it should clean up nicely. There is also meant to be a cover for this compartment down here, and that's gone missing at some point in time. Maybe we can 3D print something. On the back we have the important connections, helpfully in English. There's the usual barrel connector for the AC adapter, the RGB connector and an RF output. The RF output is pretty useless to us. Equipment that will tune into Japanese RF is pretty rare in the UK, so we'll need to make an RGB cable. It's a beautiful thing, and one thing I always love is when I get a local newspaper from around the world. This is the Fukushima Minyu. I think the front page is discussing a disaster prevention committee. Disaster prevention in Fukushima. Important, obviously, but arguably not a brand new concern. On the other side are the TV and entertainment listings. According to this, there's a high school student friendship price of 1100 yen. I'm not sure what that gets you, but hopefully cinema tickets rather than a visit from the local authorities. I am incredibly pleased with this, and it's something I couldn't have found on eBay. Not for the base price of £37.37 anyway. This is great because it's going to be part of a larger project. Obviously I need to get this checked out, cleaned up and working, but there's more to the story. I really love bubble wrap. Next out of the box is a directly related item. It's 6 cartridges for the Super Cassette Vision. Again, these are a pain to get hold of in the UK. When they do emerge on eBay, they're often at a premium price, but here we paid £28.99 for all 6. Obviously there's still shipping and the JPFans fees on top of that, but this was a bargain. I love that all the cartridge shells are these different bright colours. We have Astro Wars 2, Battling Galaxy, Super Baseball, Wheelie Racer, Astro Wars, I guess number 1, Punch Boy, he loves Punch, and Super Golf, which is Superman playing golf, I don't think. We need the new carts to check out the system, but it's only part of the story. because this bag contains victims from my house fire. This console and games belong to Neil from the Retro Collective. They were at my house when it burst into flames. Neil said don't worry about it, but I had to get them out of the skip. I couldn't leave them there. Anyway, I'm going to use these as a reference to try and save some of the burnt items. And now for something completely different. Something that more people might recognise in the UK, even if it wasn't sold here. Pause the video now and leave a comment if you can tell what it is. If you said it was a Sharp Twin Famicom, give yourselves 10 internet points. Again, the packaging's really good on this, considering that this lot was sold as non-working junk. Now these do come up on eBay, but certainly not at this price. Even with fees, this was a massive bargain. And yes, it's a bit grotty. But it's just dirt, and nothing that a quick clean won't sort. Some people like to say patina, I like to say finger gravy. Yeah, that needs a wash. A bit of wear and tear, but at the price. I couldn't turn it down. The Famicom Twin is a combined Famicom and Famicom disk system. This drive is likely needing servicing. The Japanese Famicom came to our shores in the guise of the NES, or Nintendo Entertainment System. A cartridge-based system, as I'm sure you all remember. But this went further, with advanced expanded games on diskette. A custom Nintendo 3-inch diskette no less, and I don't have any. But as ever with me, there's a story. A future project I'll be doing is called the FDSKey. This is a small self-contained unit with its own display, and it allows you to run .fds images as if they were the original discs. This is great from a preservation standpoint, because using an SD card is better than wearing out the original media. This is going to be some of my smallest ever soldering on the channel, so wish me luck. The AV options are pretty limited on the Famicom Twin. We have EIZO and Onsei Shutsuryoku, composite RCA and audio output. This DIN output is a bit of a mystery because it only seems to do RF, which is a real shame. So there we have it, my jpfans.net haul. I'm really pleased. What are you looking forward to most? The recovery with the Epoch Super Cassette Vision and the burned games? Or playing games from an emulated Famicom disk system on the Sharp Twin Famicom? Let me know in the comments section below. By the way, JPFans gave me an affiliate link. Using it to register will give you $86 worth of shipping coupons, plus 50% off of Mercari items through the link. Big thanks to JPFans. And a super massive thanks to my amazing patrons appearing on the screen right now. Patrons get ad-free early access to all my videos. You can become a patron by coming along to patreon.com/MarkFixesStuff. Patrons really help me grow the channel. Patrons also get the supernatural ability to open any drawer, summon the wrong adapter, a dead Woolworths branded battery, and something they were looking for in 2006. That might be a lie. Thank you from the bottom of my retro heart, and also from the heart of my retro bottom. You're all here waiting for the pop quiz, aren't you? People who stay for the pop quiz are one of only 4% of viewers. So I write these questions not because the masses want them, but because cool people like you wait for them. Okay, lyrics quiz. Number 1. Poor old Johnny Ray. Number 2. Looking from a window above. Number 3. Don't drink, don't smoke, what do you do? Number 4. The dreams in which I'm dying. And number 5. Once upon a time, I was falling in love. Thanks to my patrons, thanks to my viewers, you make my videos happen, thank you all. No, you've arrived at the I think he's gone crazy flash animation. Please watch one of these other videos. Please. Come on then, clicky clicky.